Hello, welcome back to my studio. Today, I'm going to do some art. Fancy it? I've got an idea that I'm going to try and test out maybe today, but I've got an idea that let me show you, hang on. So I'm kind of testing this out with you today, but I've got a bunch of like these old vintage postcards that I got a million years ago with just like pictures on them. Today I'm going to draw this, maybe get some inks out, ink and sticks, because the look of it deserves to be a bit wobbly, I think. And that's what I get with ink and sticks. I love the wobbliness that you get when you paint with sticks. But I think over on my Patreon, for my £1 tiers and above, I've got a drawing club called the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club. We meet live on Zoom. I've talked about it in the last few videos. I'm not going to go too much on that, but I thought as something extra, I might start posting up some pictures of these. So if you are one of my patrons, and my tier starts at £1, and you don't know what to draw, you can't get out to draw that month, you're busy with kids, family, whatever, the weather's bad, I might post up some of these pictures and give you some suggestions on how you might want to draw them, like draw them at 1 minute, 5 minutes, with your non-dominant hand, with take your glasses off to draw it, stuff like that, or you can just draw it as you like. But if you want suggestions, I could maybe give you them. And I thought that could be a nice thing to add to the Patreon tiers, to make the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club not just the live sessions, to give it something that you can work on through the month if you wanted to. And there's no kind of like end result of that, apart from the fact that you get some sketching practice, which is sometimes enough, isn't it? And that's what I thought today. I was sitting around thinking, right, I've got lots of things I could do. I could sort out my timetable a little bit. I could, do lots of more practical things, make some portfolio work. But really, actually, all I want to do is get my big sketchbook out and make some mess. And sometimes that's enough. That's all you need to do. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm getting my big sketchbook out. This is the sketchbook I use for my live drawing sessions. And whenever I'm doing any practice in the studio, if I'm going outside, I'll take some little A5 sketchbooks, and they'll be my observational sketchbooks. But whenever I'm in my studio, I like to draw big. And these are some of the drawings I did in one of my live drawing Zooms yesterday. I'm really quite pleased with them, actually. But I do find there's less pressure when you get a big sketchbook and you intend to be messy. Sometimes when you've only got a little sketchbook, especially if it's a very expensive like watercolour sketchbook or something like that, there is that pressure to really kind of neaten up, tidy up, and you've only got so much space, so you've got to draw little, and you end up being really tense. With a big sketchbook, it feels less formal, you can just spread out, you can be a bit messy if you want, and it doesn't have to turn out like anything in particular. And if it does, it's a bonus. So I'm going to get my inks out and my sticks out. This is one of the ones I did in our drawing Zoom yesterday, and I really quite like it. I like trying to draw people in positions that aren't standing up. So sitting down, crouching down, kneeling down. I'm finding that really interesting at the moment. So I really quite enjoyed that. Right, I'm going to turn over and get some inks. So I'm going to draw with ink and sticks for now. If I decide to do anything later on, I'll grab it later on and I'll do it later on. I'm going to hold it lightly. I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to draw like this in this way. If I find the sticks and ink aren't doing it for me, I might grab something else, or I might stop altogether, and that's completely fine. It's something that you should know if you're going to join in alongside me. I will also put up this image. It's by Ernest Nister and it's called Badgers, and it's printed in series 193. I'll pop this up there so you'll be able to see the picture as well. If you want to draw alongside and you want to have a go at this as well, you're very welcome to. But one thing can I suggest, please? Don't try and draw like I draw. If you want to watch how I do it, just stop and watch what I'm doing. when you're practicing yourself, just draw how you draw and try and draw quickly. If you find yourself overthinking it and thinking, how am I going to do it? Set yourself a timer, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, and then turn the page after that time and start again. That is the key to unlocking something in your brain, your hand-eye coordination, and unlocking your handwriting version of your style. If you've heard me talk about this before, you'll know that I refer to my style as my handwriting version of my drawing, and it's come about really from timing my sketches. If you want to find out about my journey with my sketches and finding my style, I have done a video all about it. It's the sketchbook tour then and now. I'll try and link it up here. It will be in the video description if you want to go and check that out. But if you're going to do a draw along, this isn't me teaching you how to draw. This is me just showing you a little snippet of my studio time where I messy sketch. Don't try and copy me. I mean, you do you, but if you copy me, you're not doing you, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying don't copy me because, you know, I'm copywritten, whatever. It's more, you won't get anything out of that in the long run, I don't think. So this isn't a me, just because you can see the picture up there, this isn't a me teaching you how to draw that thing. This is just me drawing that thing. And if you want to join in drawing that thing, feel free to join along. And in the future, after February 2025, which is what we're in now, I'm going to put one of the postcard images up in my Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club as a prompt if you want something to draw along like this. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, maybe consider getting yourself signed up over on Patreon. On any paid tier, you can stay a paid member for as long as you like or as little as you like. Jump in for 1 month if you want. You'll get access to all of the things on your tier and all of the recordings and previous things that have happened on your tier before your membership, and you'll have access to all of that for as long as or whenever you're a member. Or don't, you don't have to. This isn't me telling you what to do. Just thought I'd mention it. So I'm going to put you up overhead and I'm going to show you how I let loose in the studio, how I practice, how I messy sketch, how I just play. Play. We shouldn't put any other labels on it. Play. So let's go. So that's what I ended up with. I'm quite pleased with them actually. So I started off, as you saw, with like accurate, just trying to copy in a very quick style what I saw. So I'm not saying they're very realistic or anything. I wasn't going for realistic, I was going for muscle movements. That's what I do these practice sessions in my studios for, just to build those, the muscle memory. And I try not to get too precious anymore. Like I used to quite a lot, but now I find the fun in trying to get as much down as I can in a quick amount of time. So I started with fairly, like, well, I didn't go off the page too much. The orientation of the badgers was the same, but I really like this grumpy badger. I really like that grumpy badger. This guy, he or she was the star of the show for me, so I decided to really play around with that character. If you do these sessions, you might not want to do that. You might just want to change materials. You might want to do lots of different drawings in different ways. So you might want to try and draw with your non-dominant hand. You might want to try and draw with sticks. You might want to go with pencils and paints, things that you don't normally use for sketching, to get some play into the process. You might just want to try and draw them really realistically. We're all different, but what I really felt like doing in this session, which I might not feel like doing in another session, what I felt like doing in this session was really focusing on that little dude, on the grumpy man, and make it the focus. So I wasn't drawing that image over and over again, which is fine to do, you can do that. I was using that as a reference to spark off, like, what if this guy was a little cartoon character? What if this guy was standing with his hand on his, how would he be angry? So that's how I did it this time. I also really like the effect. Hang on, I just need to plug you in. My camera's shouting at me. I really like the effect of the sticks that I used as well. So I had, where are they? So I had a normal stick from the woods, and then to colour in with a bit of texture, I have this thing which I made ages ago. It's fallen apart. It's very, I don't even know if it's in focus. It's very friable, and it's basically just some pine needles that I've taped together, and that's what allowed me to kind of paint almost with the ink. But that combined with the charcoal underneath, I think it gave it a little something. This one especially, I'm really pleased with that one. But the point for me of things like this, of studio sessions like this, isn't about ending up with work that you're pleased with. I don't really care about that. It's nice when it happens. But for me, studio work is about play. When I'm sketching out and about, that's about observational sketches. That's about trying to get as much down as I can quickly before the person who I'm drawing or whatever moves. Again, it's not about it being perfect. It's about the process. It's about trying to get something down in a very short amount of time. In the studio, I tend to play a lot more. So I'll invent characters. I'll maybe feel like, oh, what would this little character do in this situation? How would it do a forward roll? How would it jump? How would it sing? How would it look sad? How would it look angry? I don't do that when I'm outside observational sketching, because there's no time for that. I'm just trying to get down what I can in the time that I have. But yeah, the studio in these sessions, I'm not bothered about the end result. It's nice when I work something and it turns into a little character or something. Not that I'm saying this is a finished character, but I mean, there's something there, isn't there? It's a little je ne sais quoi. But for me, it's more giving myself the time to play in a non-judgmental environment where it doesn't matter if I'm messy, it doesn't matter if things don't turn out how they're supposed to. There's no right or wrong way to do art. Sometimes I end up with very little when I'm doing sketchbook work. For example, this was from I can't even remember what this was from. Oh, this was from one of our Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club sessions. This is a popple that I drew in my studio. Quick time sketches. Sometimes they turn out looking very basic, and that's fine. Sometimes they turn out looking a lot more finished and refined. Do I have any of those in this sketchbook? Yeah, so these guys, I'd say those guys there are probably a bit more finished. But that isn't the point for me. The point is putting materials on the paper and having a play and seeing what turns out and holding it lightly. And if it turns out good, it turns out good. If it generates ideas, all the better. If it doesn't, it's been 40 minutes of my life that I have spent playing and having fun and getting my hands messy, if nothing else. Good for the soul. Let me know in the video comments if you followed along, if you drew your own things. If you did, and if you do share, no obligation to share them. If you do find that you're sharing the pictures that you did on Instagram, on Cara, on anything like that, you can tag me in. I am at Emma Woodthorpe on Cara and Instagram. So yeah, I'd love to see those. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Do you do studio time like this? What do you find useful for your sketching practice, for your artistic practice, to build your muscle memory, to build your enjoyment? Let's face it, your enjoyment of our craft. Let me know in the comments. I always read the comments and I really do like catching up with you guys down there. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. Thanks so much for joining me and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. So until then, bye.